silver bullet fixing them, Senator Oburu ODINGA, is to bring an amendment to renegotiate non-performing loans, Mr. Speaker. Among the young people, Mr. Speaker, and I am happy Senator Oburu ODINGA is here. I don't know whether he was in the King's State banquet. I didn't see him. But Mr. Speaker, because the King is in around, and I know Senator Oburu must be friends with the King. Okay, maybe I will ensure next time you are invited, Mr. Speaker, so that you can. I'm told Senator Oburu might be knowing each other with King Charles III and Queen Camilla. Mr. Speaker, that is why I know even in Siaya, even in Vihiga, even in Nyeri, most young people, they have motorbikes are being repossessed. Mr. Speaker, it pains me to explain this, and Senator Otsosi has put it very well. These people time when you have 1 to 2 months before you clear. And by the way, Mr. Speaker, ordinarily, a new motorbike should not go beyond 80,000. Can you believe through what to credit, Platinum Credit and other credit societies, you end up paying almost 300,000 for a motorbike that you can buy in cash at 80,000 shillings, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, this is a pure rip-off. How can you take and pay more than 200%? A new motorbike cash 80,000 plus. You end up paying what to credit or these other credits like Platinum, Mwago, and others, you end up paying over 300,000. What explanation? Which economy are we doing in this country? What are we supposed to be doing, Mr. Speaker? And these borders depend on that 50 shillings, 100 shillings, 200 shillings, Mr. Speaker. I am telling you, these credits, microfinance credit like Kenya Women, like what to credit, like Platinum, like another credits, it is a criminal, well-organized criminal enterprise. I don't fear to say this. Where they work in cahoots with some rogue police officers, with some OCSs and OCBD, and the National Police Service Commissioner, Mr. Speaker, and it is good you sit in National Security Committee. You must assist us in follow-up. There are certain OCSs and OCPD and National Police Service Commission must be aware of this. They work in cahoots with these microfinance when they are going to repossess motorbikes and resell. In fact, when they repossess, they don't even tell you, come and pay. They repossess and go and dismantle into spare parts and sell it, Mr. Speaker. And the young man, the young woman has paid. Out of 10 months, he has paid 9 months. Mr. Speaker, we must protect Kenyans from this ruthlessness that we see. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, because I didn't want to speak a lot so that my colleagues can get a chance, I want to inform the House. There is what we call hustler fund. Let me put 2 things in straight because I've had my colleagues misleading the House. When the president campaigned, he said, he did not say, and I want to put it correct because some of us were part of the drafting of the manifesto and the plan. I know the manifesto like the back of my hand. He said he will remove Kenyans who are CRB then so that they can start afresh. He did not say he is banning Kenyans from being taken to CRB. So let us get our facts right, and that is what we said, and it was done. Number 2, we said to cushion Kenyans from these harsh economic times is to start what we call hustler fund, where young men and women and business people and cooperative society, women groups could go and borrow and start their businesses. And the Ministry of Cooperatives is doing very well. You saw even the indications, the indicators, Mr. And I want to correct this notion. The IMF, I have realized our brother senator from Vihiga is a good reader of the information. But he ensures that the information he gives is skewed. Kenya was ranked among the best countries by IMF. International monitoring coming strongly economically in the nation, Mr. Speaker. So the issue of hustler fund, and I want to encourage the young people from Vihiga County, women from Vihiga County, and even from Siaya, to borrow the hustler fund. It is your money. Go and start businesses so that we can even from Nyeri, from Nandi, to borrow and start your business through the cooperative societies. Mr. Speaker, the hustler fund is the only fund that you don't need to know anybody. It is you and your phone. You don't need to have a godfather. You don't need to have a girlfriend. You don't need to have a husband or a wife, Mr. Speaker. You don't need to know anybody. You don't need to say, I know so and so that you can borrow from the hustler fund, Mr. Speaker. So I want to correct the misnomer that was being put in the House, Mr. Speaker. We must agree as a House that, Mr. Speaker, the hustler fund is going to be revolutionary. All Kenyans, all young people who are watching me, borrow from the Hustler Fund and your lives will be changed. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, I agree with the prayers that we have set to review the Banking Act, to renegotiate non-performing loans, and provide cushions with Kenyans and prevent the loss of their movable assets. These assets that they have, let them protect. Mr. Speaker, I want to assure the taxi drivers of Uber, Taxify, Bolt, the border sector that Senate will stand with you to protect you from the sharks, from the Shylock, and other unholy microfinance institutions in this country, like Watu Credit, like Platinum Credit, like Kenya Women, among other lending institutions that continue to crash, Mr. Speaker. And I wish, in conclusion, with a lot of due respect, that we would have used the model way of the Islamic laws of banking. We would not be where we are. If we had proposed to use Islamic banks where there is zero interest rate, Mr. Speaker, then this country would not be where. I hope when we renegotiate, we must look at to borrow some from Islamic banking laws on how we can improve. Mr. Speaker, with so many remarks, congratulate Senator Waume Wamatinga. Wish him well. I want to see the legislative intervention when it comes to fruition. And I invite Senator Otsosi for lunch so that he can see and I can share with him how the economy is doing with the experts, so that when he appears before the floor of the House, he can be able to have a very interesting...
What is your point of order?
I finish, and I support.
What's your point of order, Senator Otsosi?
Mr. Speaker, you know I don't need any lectures from Senator Cherargei on the economy. We are feeling it. The economy is not working, and Kenyans are feeling it. So you don't need any lectures to know that the economy is not doing well.